Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Thomas, Thomas the Prophet here, and I'm back with another one because, I'm the prophetical son, living on the run, running my gums. I don't know, man. So, but yo, how y'all doing? That's good. Oh, me? I'm just, you know, figuring it out. I'm just trying to, you know, I'm going through another awakening, I think, another spiritual awakening. So, you know, just going through the processes. If you understand it, if you just read things, whether if you're on social media or you actually do the research, but I'm gonna bet you got a lot of the things that you found on social media. Man, whatever. It's my channel. I could be awkward, even though I'm not being awkward. I'm just making conversation. Though I'm in a room by myself right now, and and then in the segue, this is gonna be a real video today. Well, all my videos are real. That's the whole point. Honest, vulnerable truths. And as a content creator, as a human being, figuring out himself and his way, my whole goal and point is to be the realest man and human being on social media platforms, on Instagram, on YouTube, or whatever else I'm gonna use in the future. I ain't a what is it called? I ain't a subgenre. I'm just Thomas, and we need to start keeping it real. And I know with my whole the journeys, the healing, enlightenment, awakening, alignment. Oh, huh. Let me. No, that's not how I go. With my journeys, the healing, learning, growing, elevating, evolving, enlightenment, awakening, alignment, and attunement journeys. Hopefully I said that right. The whole point is just finding yourself and becoming who and what you truly are, and that always been before the programming, all the conditioning, the confirmation, conforming, and all the traumas and experiences and heartbreaks and hardships of life. That's my point. And, just to get my community, my soul tribe out there, to meet each other, or just for people that likes me. If anybody likes me, it's just just figure out my way, in my own way. Not trying to mimic or act like somebody I'm not. So you already know the road is gonna be harder for a brother, and because people don't watch real shit, they want to be entertained, especially in our generation. But with this video, talking about me, I just want to talk about being loneliness, being on a lonely road, and just always being alone, and what it can do and what it can do to you, what it has done. And I ain't go to school for nothing, I ain't got like a doctrine. I just go off my own experiences, what I research. So if you want to expand upon yourself, do your own research. And I'm just talking through me and my life and my experiences and what I be feeling, if I could get the words out, and what you worry about, think about with loneliness. Man, loneliness, it hurts, yo. It's crazy to just think about. There's a world like 7 billion plus people, and you could just feel so lonely. Like you ain't got no friends, no real friends. People ain't there for you. But then you gotta worry about if you actually doing all these things to make these friends, but then you try to do things to make friends and bond and connect with people, and then you gotta worry about people who got their own lives, and they might end up ghosting you, even though they might not be ghosting you. You know how it goes. And it's just a lot to worry about. You just don't know what is and what's not, and you just feel like when you always alone, you're just not doing nothing or getting anything done, or at least from my perspective, because I may be on a righteous route, on a good route, and I want to be, but it's just so lonely when you just feel like you ain't got no friends. I mean, you do, but it's like, do you need friends? That's another video. It's just, growing up, well, at least with me, I ain't do nor partake in what everyone else did, and that's another video. Cause how we all grew up and how I grew up was fucked up because we done conformed, especially if you're from where I'm from or lived in areas that I lived. Like if you're from Jersey, if you're from Piscataway, if you're from Plainfield, if you're from New York, if you're from Cali, if you're from Texas and Florida, God bless y'all, because y'all need Jesus, God, Yahweh, and all the Egyptian gods to clean y'all asses, especially in New York. It's just, you learn that it's better to be lonely than to fit in, because as you can try to fit in, you just become more lonely even if you're in a room full of people. But it's just that you don't know who's there for you and who likes you. And loneliness can be a positive thing. It makes you realize a lot of things, and it makes you realize a lot of things, think about a lot of things, and work on a lot of things, and realize yourself and heal yourself, rejuvenate yourself, enlighten and awaken and educate yourself. Like, loneliness can be positive, but loneliness and being alone is just a whole different beast. You just feel isolated. And I want to be isolated from from the toxicity of the world, the bullshit. But it's just like, it just sounds like you feel like you gotta be the one to reach out to people, and no one reaches out to you. And in a world like ours, it's hard to things like, I don't know, social media, just how instantaneous things. It's been hard to, really try and want to bond and connect with people, especially how people are easily influenced nowadays. It's like, it's better to be alone than be around people that you know is going to get in trouble, because people just be up to no good nowadays, at least what they post. And yeah, you don't know what's really going on in anyone's personal life, but if you could get a rub for how a person is, even if they don't share a lot. It's the things that they do share that just, at least with me, in my opinion. So, and the thing with me, and also being, suffering loneliness, which could come with like anxiety, depression, OCD, things I think I suffer or have, because I definitely got anxiety, and anxiety can lead to depression, or you could just have depression. And I've been told I got OCD, and I'm not sure, I haven't gotten myself diagnosed. And you just start thinking and feeling, but it's just like, if you know what OCD is, it's not just cleaning shit, it's like intrusive thinking, something I always bring up because that is real. And I don't think people understand that, which is something that people gotta learn. It just makes you think and feel a lot of things that's probably not even true, but could be. So there's a positive and a negative, so it keeps you on your toes and ahead of people, but it's just like, you just suffer a lot of paranoia and have a lot of thoughts that most people just won't understand and will probably cancel you for. It's like, you can't even speak your mind anymore because people are so sensitive and fickle. Like, people may be sensitive and fickle to a video like this, really revealing yourself. And honestly, I was really worried to make this video, scared or whatever, because it's just like, is it, just to hop in my thoughts, if I can get them out, because it's like, shit just, it gets weird when you get on camera. It's like, oh, am I doing this for attention, or, it's like a crying out for help, or have people see me, look at me like me. It's like, if it's like, people do things to get attention, to get love, like, especially with social media, especially when people just don't care, if you understand what I'm saying. And I don't want to do that. I honestly want to have genuine bonds and connection in a world full of fake shit. Cause I'm not a fake ass nigga. I dealt with fake people my whole life. People you think and thought were friends, but you know, you just end up feeling more lonely around them because you just can't relate to them, and they just get into activities and things that just not you, and it's no good. It's kind of the story of my life, it's so it just makes it more lonely because you just feel like you're nowhere, and you feel like people are just living more than you, experiencing more than you, and just more alive and fun and interesting than you, when it's probably not, because honestly everyone does have done the same thing. But it's a sad feeling that really can hurt you inside when you feel like you're all alone. But then, you know, but hopefully on a positive note, being lonely, especially in my position, is also going to lead to a build up for my future, where I'm going to have a lot of greatness in my future. So I know what I'm feeling right now can be, you know, just right now, even though I felt like this for a lot of my life. But it's like, if you're more on, I think I just observed you're more on the path I'm on, at least I'm hoping, you're more on the path I'm on, you just learning, educating yourself on the world in ways, and just in your loneliness, then you just destined for a great future, because you're just not caught up in the naivety and nonsense that everyone is to try to fit in, because you just see what people are doing and what everyone else is doing. Like, and also just to say real quick, if you don't see my eyes looking straight, I'm trying to figure out how, because you know I record with my iPhone, at least for now, until the future when I really figure out this whole YouTube shit. Not, you know, technological shit, which I am not a technological person. I'm more of a spiritual, logical, you know, outspoken, real person, if you know what I mean. But yeah, so if you see me, my eyes down and back, I'm bear with me. You just, but just, well, let me tell you about my life, to share myself. Hopefully I could bond and connect with people. But it's like, if people start to bond and connect with me now, because I'm talking about myself and putting my video, it's like you're gonna know that love is fake, and that shit's gonna make me angry because I know myself. It's like, don't start showing me love now and paying attention to me and giving me attention when you wasn't giving me attention back then. Like, yo, it's gonna make me angry having fake love. It's like it's a conflicting battle. But it's like, but let me tell you a little something. Me, where I grew up and where I'm from, and just for myself, I hate smoking. I don't like drinking. I don't like, you know, partying negatively. And what I mean by negatively is like girls just shaking ass and acting like hoes and outside of themselves and just lower and depreciating themselves. Especially growing up, and you know, you're from Jersey. You know the Jersey club scene is what it is. If you know, then you know, and if you don't, girls just really be wild at any party. Like, you just see, like, you really see girls getting tore up at these little parties, son. And we was like, and I'm 22, and like motherfuckers 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, up to this point, getting buck wild, yo. Like, people just live with too much and done too much that they shouldn't have done. But, you know, it's society's fault. It's men and women's fault, because, and you know, it's from parents' faults maybe. But honestly, when we teenagers, we know what we're doing and could be accountable and responsible. But people just love to excuse shit because we motherfuckers grew up we live in an enabled time, especially with females. But that's a whole nother video. But anyway, like, I mean, and the thing is, I just always wanted true bonds and connections, like real friends to actually spend time with. You know, people that actually care about you, people that actually love you and that you can make a life with, people that you can have fun with. I didn't grow up like that. I ain't go through or do everything that everyone has done that I know. Like, motherfuckers is going out going like outside state with each other, and we're teenagers. Like, how you even doing that anyway? Like, how motherfuckers even moving like that? Shit, I didn't start really witnessing things until later in life after I graduated high school, and then I started realizing how people did shit. And and the shit was good, was not good. Motherfuckers that's legal enough or old enough to buy alcohol and drinks for them. It's like motherfuckers doing the most. And honestly, whether you call me lame or not, I'm not gonna say I don't care. But honestly, to say the truth, because of how fucked up shit is, we shouldn't have been doing that shit. Motherfuckers shouldn't have been doing that shit in the first place. Like, I'm not gonna bring up names in this video because it's not the time for it. But I'm gonna use references, so if I end up breaking the names, fuck it. It's my YouTube video. The thing I worry about is people that I know personally gonna call me out, like, you know, people I bring up with my videos, like old friends or my ex or, you know, whoever. I worry about a lot because I basically grew up where how having my pain and my feelings, emotions, and my life basically being downgraded and ignored and think it's less, matters less because people think and feel just because they've been through more or done more that their lives is harder, so my life is less. And that's a real important video. I'm going to make one day because that shit is so much in my mind. It's like, do I even matter? Am I even important? And just growing up, you know, with families that, it's like, I'm from Orange and I'm from East Orange. And you could say I'm the fortunate child amongst my intermediate family because I had all the materialistic items, but you know, all the internal, mental, psychological, emotional problems, that was where I suffered the most, even to this day. And how I grew up, and especially as a black person, you really, and even to this very day, that shit just gets ignored or don't get the attention it's supposed to get, you know, because we like, what's OCD? What's anxiety? What's depression? Motherfuckers is poor. Motherfuckers in the street. Motherfuckers is in the hood and ghetto. Like, motherfuckers like going through it. And that's what really going through it is. Not being depressed or anxious or lonely or feeling, you know, sheltered like from the outside world, not knowing what things are. And it's like, it's a blessing and a curse for me because it kept me out of trouble. So I give my parents that, even though, you know, we all got baggage with our mothers and fathers. If you have them, even if you don't, then that's another video to talk about. But, you know, it's just like you just learn, especially at a breakup. Well, my first breakup, the big breakup, that kind of jump started a lot of things and made me realize myself in my life and what I suffered. It's just like, even in a relationship, before the relationship, my whole life, I was always lonely. So I really suffered this since I was a kid, like loneliness. So, you know, being alone a lot, being, you know, being told you're sheltered, you know, whatever. It's just like, you just feel like you're less. No one likes you. No one wants to fuck with you because you're not with what everyone else is with. I wasn't with all the negativity and toxicity that people was on back then, even now. But the thing is, I'm just trying to overcome the anxiety to be proud enough or be good enough to say it. And motherfuckers hate when you're good, but love when you're bad, which is also another video. It just, it fucks with your head. And the crazy thing is, it makes you do things because you're lonely and you want friends. Like me, I've been giving the motherfuckers since I was a kid, yo. Since I was a fucking kid, I got it from my father. You know what I'm saying? Like, my father's a good dude, you know, and you know, every parent got the flaws and problems and issues, but I got like a lot of my ways from my father and my mother too, as I learned as I'm growing older. But my father's a good dude. It's just, I guess I'm learning with his experiences as later on myself in my life as I find myself and be my own individual is how and talk, and at talk that we had just learned that being a well in life as a good person you just really get taken advantage of a lot when you're good. And it hurt giving to people. It made me angry. I'm not even to this day because it's like I'm doing all this for I'm doing giving things, wanting to give things because yeah I may want to, but it's like I also I want to feel like I have a home that I fit in, that I'm being accepted, embraced, loved, welcomed and all that. Because I didn't have a lot of that growing up within my own household. We all got dysfunctional households in our own ways. You know, everything in everyone's life matters, despite what people may say, because the trauma runs so deep that people just think that people don't care anymore. The thing is, people are just too afraid to care. Because when you care and love and respect and do and give and open up and communicate, you know, you get hurt. And honestly, we just gotta become stronger with that, but also be vulnerable. Like people gotta understand that judgment and insecurities is gonna be a thing that's gonna be in everybody. As I learned growing up, because growing up being insecure or whatever, really people look down on you. It's like, yo, everyone's insecure. If anything, you're more insecure for calling my insecurities. I don't know, but anyway. But yeah, it's like I was always a very lonely kid because growing up where I grew up, for half my life, my parents and especially my mother, my father didn't want me, being around a lot of things. Like they grew up in Newark, so if you know, you know. And I grew up in East Orange. I think Orange is more like a suburb, but East Orange is the hood. And there's gang banging, graffiti. Like I grew up seeing candles on sidewalks because people probably got shot or died on there. I didn't really grow up being exposed to that. My father used to live like around like halal spots, where if you worship Islam, so and most of the times I was always a reclusive kid anyway, but I always had that energy inside me. But I was also a big kid too, so I also held back a lot of myself because and I think I had been told I had to, so I won't hurt other kids. So that also made the suppression more to myself. And honestly, I'm just a good. I grew up. I'm a good kid. I'm a good man. But I guess all the problems just catch up with you when shit just collides at one time. And it's just you don't know whether if your parents gotta be accountable and responsible for things. Yes, y'all do if y'all watching. Not just talking, about my own parents, but everyone's parents. But sometimes, with parents, with their generational pain and trauma, it travels to their kids. It traveled to me, just in ways that's opposite but the same, and that's all of us. Like it just you just don't realize what happens to you until after you really go through some shit. And me going through some shit was like 2 years of, fake friendships, realizing friendships that I thought were real were fake. You know, one-sided, toxic, double standard, semi-abusive love in the relationships, and just bunch of unnecessary drama, and just learning what motherfuckers was doing and how they do it the whole time. Even if you don't know everything, it's just like, damn, this is what I stayed away from. I mean, it's good, so like that's where the blessing comes from. But the curse comes from, it's just that motherfuckers get together, or always have got together, at least me growing up, just to smoke, to drink, to fuck, get in trouble, do bad shit. It's like, is that what life is? That's why I hate a lot of shit that I do. That's why I'm so against smoking and drinking. because we should not be smoking and drinking anyway, so we can have our full awareness and consciousness. And I know motherfuckers, it's like, it's crazy. Motherfuckers gonna be defensive over some weed, over, but motherfuckers gonna hate you and not like you for not smoking weed. Ain't it weird? Like, really think about that. Really think about how backwards that is. Or maybe it's just the fact that everything that we just done, we done too young and shit was too bad. But honestly, the evil's done and manipulated the minds of us. And I learned that. And that's a real important video that I'm probably gonna make next or sometime soon about the evils. But it's just like, you just feel really isolated from the rest of the world, especially when you're good, you know? And especially right now, before I even record this camera, it's like you just feel so down. It's like you text people, they don't text back or, respond back. It's like one thing I had to learn, like, people have their own lives, but it's like damn, you just going to fade me like that. That's the shit that always got me angry. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, I know I should be using this lonely time to like upgrade my life, and this my life, like everything's going in the right direction. But the thing that the only person that's holding me back is me, because of procrastination, anxiety, fear, and just feeling stuck because I always grow up frozen. It's just a lot of weight, especially when you're on a righteous healing journey of self. And I just hope that, with the anxiety of making this video, it's just like I won't think and worry that it's just exposing myself or attention seeking, because that's what I worry about. I know I said that earlier, but I'm just trying to elaborate. And basically growing up, get back to basis. Just basically growing up, you're just lonely when you're not that person. Like, people don't want you around when you're not with that, or they want to protect you from that. But it's like, why can't you not be with that? I had a lot of problems, issues, even to this very day with that, with old friends or people I thought were my real friends but weren't really real friends, because I was the only real friend. And that's like kind of the story of my life. I'm not saying I'm perfect, because I'm not. But it's like, it's just fucked up when it's like damn, not really that. The faker you are, the more people you have around. God, listen, the faker you are, the more people you got on your phone around, because you just living a lie. But the realer you are, the lonelier you are. And that's probably the whole basis of my life, to have me be the way I am. And probably you too, if you're watching this video. But the thing about, I remember, if y'all remember this social boy line, it's so lonely at the top. And it is, man. It really is. The thing is, being lonely makes you smart. It gets you to be smarter. But also, suffering loneliness, it makes you more susceptible. Like, it makes you codependent, because you just want that interaction. I didn't grow up with a lot of affection. My parents didn't know it. But I always needed it, so that's something I've been neglected. And it just makes you do weird things. It's like, okay, I'm gonna expose myself. But something I did when I was younger, like back in like 6th grade. So, and I know I'm gonna get funny looks, but fuck it. It's like, I think, it's like, as a son, you just want affection from your mother or your father. And you never got it, so you try to get affection from other people. I think I remember one time just wanting to, just to have affection or to feel people. I think I ended up like footseeing with a classmate of mine that was a guy. I'm not gay. I may have a lot of intrusive thoughts, but I'm not gay. But it's like, damn, I'm really deprived, feeling so lonely, deprived of so much affection that I'm doing this. And he even said, like, yo, you gay? I'm like, no. But I guess it just grown up that I was a really, I'm still a very intimate and affectionate, close and personal person. I just hope this video makes sense when I'm talking about loneliness, because I feel like I had a lot more to say. Honestly, I'm just talking to the camera. But it just, loneliness can come from lack of affection, lack of intimacy, lack of, communication, connections, bonds, friendships, relationships, love. And it makes you do crazy things when you're alone. That's why a lot of people nowadays do a lot of things. Like a lot of girls be fucking around, being hoes and shit because they just don't want to be alone. A lot of girls run back to their exes, toxic exes, because they just don't want to be alone. Like, people really be doing that, yo. The shit happened to me. And when that, man, when that video come out, man, I'm gonna have a story to tell, because basically everyone's life is a story, and my life is a story. Even when I didn't think it was, because I wasn't doing shit as interesting, quote unquote, as everyone else. Like, but you learn, it's like you can understand why people do what they do, but you just know it's not okay. And it's like we just like, especially just because we grew up with so much pride and ego, trying to act tough and be something. We just can't be tough and hard, especially where I'm from. Whether where I'm from or how I was raised, it's just like, damn, you can't really be real with who and what you are, and what you really think and feel, what you suffer, because it might get called out as attention seeking. It's like, even I've done it. We all have done it, we can admit. But we just don't understand. The thing is, we just don't understand ourselves and what we suffer, and how much we are suffering, really, because we suffer every day, and we don't acknowledge the suffering because we think people have it worse. So what is our pain? That's how I grew up. When I've been in pain my whole life, and it's very lonely, because you feel like your pain don't matter, because you're not, not running around doing what everyone else is doing, or has done what everyone else has done. Like, you know how lonely it feels when it's like your own parents saying, oh, you got this and that. You got all these toys. You got all these video games. What are you suffering? When the whole time inside you very lonely, like you insecure, you feel like you got no friends. Like, I grew up with chubby kids, so you feel like no girls like you. Even though that's kind of a blessing, because like I said in a couple of videos, I'm trying to manifest a wife, a girlfriend, a confidant, a best friend, a soulmate, a twin flame, which I deserve because I'm a good guy. But females be tripping nowadays, which is like a ongoing series on my channel, because after everything I've been through and everything y'all females, if y'all watching, be on nowadays and have been on, especially since I was a kid growing up to now, especially with everything I've gone through, witnessed and suffered in my old relationship. Like, no girls just like you, because how society and fathers, mothers, whoever conditioned females to be. You just feel like no nigga likes you, like in a friend sense, because you ain't with the bullshit they on, you ain't with the smoking, you ain't with the drinking, you ain't with the fucking around, you ain't with getting in trouble doing some wild shit, acting obnoxious and immature. It's like, it's like being lonely made me an old man. And what I mean by old man is like, I'm an old soul. If you know me, you know. And it makes you wise and mature a lot, which is good. But it's like, you can still have fun. But people just, especially in this day and age, make fun so bad and toxic. Like, it's to the point it's traumatizing, at least to me. It's like, you think having fun is fucking around, doing shit you're not supposed to be doing because you have to experience, you have to go, like, who said we gotta go through this? Who said we gotta cheat on someone? Who said we gotta drink every fucking day, every fucking week? Who said we gotta be smoking? Who said we gotta be home wrecking? How is that lit? Like, that's, like, it's lonely being good, yo. It's lonely being fucking good. It's lonely feeling like you not successful, but feeling like you had to do all these things just to catch up, to feel successful, because you see what other people are doing, when honestly these people's success is nothing. Like, I can guarantee I'm gonna be a whole lot more successful than a lot of people that I know who's in college, or who went to universities, or have lived this full experience of a life doing all this wild shit, growing up. It's like I can guarantee him I'll be more successful. But the thing is, I feel so lonely, and I'm pretty sure you feel lonely too because you see these people doing all these things, not having like a girl love you, not having friends on your phone because your friends just and just was no good. Because that's what my friends been. No, my friends just love like motherfuckers like went to school and shit, but all my friends love to do was get in trouble, smoke, drink, and fuck bitches, and do fucked up shit and be fucked up people. I was never that guy. I was always different. Even if I had all those intrusive thoughts and feelings inside because of what my surroundings are, but that comes with the conditioning and programming and probing. And, it's mind, body, heart, soul, spirit, psyche, conscious control, and that also like it manipulates us with the music and also videos and what we watch and what we pay attention to because especially in environments like you grew up, well, I growing around hoods and ghettos, whether if you're a good nerdy kid, a weird kid, a outspoken person like me, that programming will be in you, and you gotta wrestle and fight with your demons, ghosts, and self every day just to break out of that. And when you feel like you have no support, no real support, especially when motherfuckers say, "Oh, it gets better," "Oh, people have it worse," or it's just, smoke this, bro. Take a drink. Go fuck that. Go fuck that. Go have some fun. Go out. Do all this crazy shit. Get it off your mind. That's not the right thing to do. Because you want to keep on doing that, avoiding yourself and running away from yourself and your problems and issues. You're just going to be lost. And that's a lot of people nowadays. And that could have been me. And it has been me. It's like I almost conformed to someone I wasn't in my old relationship for her. Because I love her that much. And for friends or trying, but the truth is, I was always the guy that wanted to do the right thing and get his people, get his family, his everyone that he loves and cares about for selfish reasons on track. So, and people weren't with that or not with that because we think that living your best life is doing wild shit and being wrong and toxic. Like, people think it's okay and normal to be mean, disrespectful, cruel, whatever. But, that probably comes with, how they were raised and what they grew up around, what they suffer inside because they won't reveal their problems and issues because they're too scared and insecure to be actual human beings. So they resort to becoming vile, toxic, evil, manipulative, disloyal, uncommitted, fake people. Like a lot of people that I knew and know. Take all offense because y'all was some fake ass motherfuckers, and y'all really hurt a good brother. Y'all hurt a lot of good people in y'all wake the terror. Y'all know who I'm talking about. It's just a lot of people, like, we so lonely because we just don't know how to befriend or communicate and bond and connect with each other because we just raised that we can't trust nobody. And besides things we can't, I feel like I couldn't grow or trust nobody. Because I was always a target, being bullied and name called and brainwashed. Well, not brainwashed, being bullied, name called, picked on. I was always a target, so it just made me want to isolate some more. I remember crying to my mother once because I just wanted people to leave me alone, stop bothering me. Even though learning I put myself in the lion's den to be around them because I want their validation, acceptance, approval, and love. And now, as you recover mentally with that, it's just a lonely process. And loneliness makes you suffer, but it also makes you ascend. And in the darker aspect, being so lonely and hard to reach out to people or communicate, you feel like you're just going to die alone. So many people, like, you can call people for all the wrong things, and you won't be lonely. But try to call it for the right things, at least, especially for yourself. You just realize how lonely you are because you're real. And it's sad, man. That's my life. That's a lot of our lives. And what people do and have done to avoid that, that sadness, depression, anxiety, loneliness, is people done fuck themselves up, man. I know a lot of people that done fucked up themselves, their friendships, their relationships. People fucked up with me. because I was the nigga that knew not to be with that, but people knew couldn't stop because of how they was programmed and their traumas. Like my ex or my old friends, and just a lot of people I grew up with that are unhealthy, toxic things in people to this very day because they go by the program. And also being that smart and intelligent, and intuitive, aware as I am, is very lonely when you're very conscientious and aware and intuitive and thoughtful and mindful with a lot, because you don't want to put yourself around it. Because if you do put yourself around there, you're just gonna become a shell, a sheep, a zombie, and you're just gonna feel more lonely, and you're gonna drown yourself with more, more weed, more alcohol, more negativity, more trouble to escape that loneliness. But all you're going to end up becoming is a voidless pit. And I feel that within me every day, and that's called addiction. And my addiction is codependency, and codependency is like addiction to people. Because I was addicted to people, and I'm trying to overcome that. But it's very lonely, and it has always been very lonely because you're doing a lot of things just so you could fill that void, so you could feel something, to feel the loneliness. And people do that in a lot of ways that's unhealthy, that they don't realize or can't admit, because of how society and the culture and community is, especially within the black community and minority community, the hip hop community. It's just it's a devil's world, yo. Like, and the devil was winning, yo, and they got us brainwashed. The thing is, we need to be more inclined with mental health, but not so much to the point cancel culture or feeling like you can't speak or express yourself and your intrusive thoughts and feelings and emotions is impossible, because that's kind of the curse with how things are nowadays. We can't really open up. We can't tell the truth of our past or what we think and feel. We get, and basically with someone like me, I got judged more for being good. And if it seemed like I was judging people for doing bad, I was judgmental. And I really wasn't. I was telling the truth. But it just grew up conformed, Joe. And I've always been a very lonely person, whether it's to my best benefit or not. I guess all I can do is pray to God that I will be successful one day, and I'm headed down the right direction. And I have my family, have good family, good friends, good love, good supporters. If you're subscribed to me. And so, so I won't feel that loneliness. So you won't feel that loneliness. So we all won't be lonely anymore if you're in my tribe, in my spiritual. If you're in my tribe on the journeys as me, because we're coming out the dark ages. Because it's the time of the light that's coming. It's also very lonely when people can never understand any words you're saying. That's also my life too. Motherfuckers just don't understand me, because I've always been ahead of the curve. I'm a very smart, aware dude. But that also makes you very lonely too, when you just steps ahead of people when it comes to with the right things. But this is not gonna be the last video I make, so I might call this Loneliness Volume 1. I'm gonna figure it out. It's part of my Honest Vulnerable Truth series. But hopefully I opened up a lot of gates and for y'all to figure out yourselves and to help yourselves through my pain and struggles, because honestly I'm just a vessel for positivity and good, even though inside of me I'm a very dark, angry, lonely person that's depressed and anxious and intrusive and crazy and insane. But it all stems from the pain that I had growing up and going through everything that I've gone through and feeling so lonely. And loneliness is a deep well, because you just feel unfulfilled, unsuccessful. You just feel like no one loves, nor respects, nor cares about you, nor supports you, especially when you're the right thing. And hopefully with my channel and who I am, I can change that for myself, for my future, for my community, my culture, my race, my people, for hip-hop, for rap, because I'm a rapper and a poet as much as I am a speaker and writer. And this is definitely not the last time we're going to be talking about this. Hopefully in the future I could get people to talk about their loneliness, their intrusiveness, so we can help fill these voids healthily. You know what I'm saying? Do the positive, right things instead of everything that we've been traumatized with and grew up with. So we can make a beautiful future for ourselves and for the children. and for tomorrow. But yo, Thomas the Prophet here. Thank you for spending this time with me because I was really feeling lonely. Like, I don't go outside, bro. I might go outside once in a round in nature because that's what we're supposed to do. But I ain't a nigga that be drinking and smoking and doing all that wild shit that everyone's conformed to. I don't like that shit. That's just programming. And I hope a lot of people that I know, yes, that I know watching this and knowing it's just part of the programming. Y'all was doing too much wild shit when y'all was young, and now y'all just normalized to it. And a lot of things should have never been normalized in our generation. You know, a lot of things is backwards, but you know, I made that video already, and that's probably not gonna be the last video I made about it, cause shit is really backwards in this world. Like, it's good to be bad, and it's bad to be good. And I think that's a video I didn't make yet, or that I did, whatever. But yo, it's about the mentals, the physicals, the spirituals, the psychologicals, the emotionals, the logicals. You know, the thoughtfuls, the mindfuls, the conscious, the aware, the intuitive, the intelligent. You know, the internal, the external. You know, that real deep shit that people like to avoid, or, you know, shit that's real, yo. And the point of my channel is to be the realest person that you can be and be vulnerable with yourself. So I understand I'm doing a very brave thing, even exposing myself, but I just hope that y'all don't see it as attention seeking, or because I do want friends, even though I wrote something earlier saying, oh, I don't know if I want friends. Are friends really necessary? But it's like, I just want people to love and care about, and people that can love and care about me the same. I just want to heal the world. I just want to heal the world, help the world. I just want to make things right for these females out here. Even though I'm angry at y'all to say things, I want to make things right with my brothers out here, even though y'all fucked up and do too much. You know, for my community, my culture, my generation, my era, my time, my race, my people. I just want to be a vessel for positivity, but also learning my humanity and who and what I am truthfully. And so I can heal myself and my future so I won't feel so lonely no more as this series progression goes on. But hey, yo, thank you for spending time with me. Thomas Lamont Simon Jr., if you don't know, it's Thomas the Prophet. You know, the heart and soul, the mad insane, the insane mad genius, Professor Hulk, big, what other nicknames? Oh yeah, Batman, because I'm like Batman, because you know Batman's a hero but very dark inside. But if you understand, you understand. But yo, thank you, I love you. And if you're with this journey with me, there's no need to feel lonely no more. Because we finna change the world together. We finna bond and connect, align, realign, manifest, attract. You know, we finna affirm, we're gonna pray, we're gonna love, respect, care, we're gonna communicate. We're gonna do the right things. I'm breeding a nation of leaders, but also real people who's not programmed by society or social media. It's all about being who we truthfully are and becoming ourselves and being the best that we can be. You know, that's beyond all the external confines the world places and the expectations it placed on us in our heads at such a young age. And I just want to be a gateway, you know, to escape that, so we can be better for real. But I thank you. I love you. May the journeys continue on. And yo, it's time to wake up. It's time. But thank you. I love you. Have a good day. Peace.